My name is Amber Reed, R-E-I-D, birthday 12/27/90. I'm turning 32, but like I'm almost positive my like mental age, like my brain is stuck at 17. I'm actually starving, so okay, yes, I troll. Whatever, Trollin has entered the chat. I'm totally fine with a clickbait title because you guys know I love me a clickbait title. You're not paying attention to your health, you don't care about your health, you don't care about your body, you want to die, you could have ate healthy, you chose not to, do you really need to go on vacation, you need to buy health insurance instead. I just don't want to hear it.
No one cares!
Hey guys, Grüße aus Deutschland, greetings from Germany. Of course, I will send the community post that Becky posted, and I was thinking about making a message to Becky part 2. So what probably triggered Becky's community post are these clips from the phone call between Destiny and Amber.
You're a very manipulative person.
I have come to terms that my mental illness does make me manipulate in ways. And in the relationship I'm in now is like mature.
Yeah, no, it's not. She's really delusional about that, since it's not even a relationship. She has feelings for YP, but I still maintain, because I have a very strong feeling that that's the case, that YP is just a paid caretaker. And we haven't seen her around much, and that might be because Amber has, financial problems, which is a direct consequence of her running her mouth and not changing her personality.
For my mental illness to be used against me by my ex is pretty shitty.
She might be thinking that, but she's been monetizing her mental illness, and she calls it mental illness. I didn't come up with this term in regards to Amberlyn Reed, the persona on that YouTube channel. So she has mental illness. She's been monetizing it, and clickbaiting problems she has with her mental health for almost a decade. And she cannot be taken seriously anymore. I think she has lost all connection to reality. And I'm gonna top that off by saying the following. She's been increasingly looking sick, and I think the reason for that is because she has so many infections going on in her body that by now the cognitive abilities are impaired. Cognitive abilities are skills your brain uses to complete essential day-to-day tasks like thinking, learning, reading, remembering, speaking, listening, and paying attention. And we've been seeing all of that. She's been having problems with all of that on her channel, increasing problems, that is, because I think by now she's so stuffed to the brim with preservatives, she can't even think straight anymore. She cannot understand what we're saying when we're saying nobody believes you anymore because you keep lying. Because I strongly believe in her head she actually thinks she's not lying, because on top of everything else, you guys know, my unprofessional opinion is that I'm getting the impression from Amberlyn Reed that she is a full-blown sociopath without any emotions. She's only driven by her food addiction and the need to make enough money to continue to stuff her face on a daily basis. Alright, but I'm trying not to get too carried away because I would actually like for Becky to watch this, and so I'm trying not to make it too long, but it's gonna be long, let's be real. Let's continue with the video clip.
Like, you and Becky being in cahoots is fucking disgusting.
Me and Becky are not in cahoots.
But I can see where that is Amber's biggest fear. Because Becky is the last person, from Amber's life that has not spoken out against Amber yet. At least not without being careful and diplomatic. Do you know what I'm saying? And so of course it would be Amber's worst nightmare if these two were in cahoots with each other.
Whatever, you are. You don't know what Becky put me through, and no one...
This is the statement that that Becky is referring to in her community post. But let's keep going.
Does. No one does because I am not that person. Like, I wish you would just fucking leave my name out of your mouth.
I mean,
Move
same.
on with your life.
And I'm sure Becky feels the same way.
Yeah,
I don't talk about her.
bullshit.
I don't want to hear it, because you do. And still me.
And she doesn't really have to say Becky this, Becky that, or Destiny this, Destiny that. Every time she said she's in a relationship now where somebody finally cares, you know, all those jabs at Becky right after the breakup and, you know, the subsequent months. Every time she said, I'm in a relationship now where this is going on and that is going on. And she only said it to take a jab at Becky. And Becky is one of the most supportive spouses that, or live-in partners, because we now know what I said all along is true. They didn't really have a relationship. It was just them taking advantage of each other and not having or hardly any sexual relations and stuff like that. And so it was, like I said, back in 2018 and 2019, it's like two teenagers living with each other trying to make it in the adult world. And so Becky was the most supportive, and she got sucked in to that time where Amber had eaten herself into a bedbound state. She barely left the house anymore. She did not take showers anymore. She clearly stated to herself that she couldn't take showers anymore because she couldn't fit in the shower. So she was taking what are they called, sponge baths, and not even on the daily. She herself admitted it, and Becky had to be part of that, and that alone is worth giving Becky a medal for living through that, and all the stench and all the bitterness coming from Amber Reed during that time.
I literally haven't talked about you in live stream era, which was 2 years ago, and then here you come around the woodwork.
Out of the woodwork.
You can't say you haven't talked about me since live stream era, and then you made videos about me when I've been making videos.
And not just that, she continues to mention her ex-spouses. She just doesn't mention their names anymore. But from what she says about them, you can tell what era it was from.
That makes no damn sense.
I was just about to say, the only reason why I started talking about you was to defend myself.
And that was a joke because at that time already nobody believed Amber anymore. So why try to clear her name when everybody knows she's a pathological liar?
And when it comes to Becky, me and Becky equally decided that we will not talk about each other. And since that point, I have not talked about her.
Equally decided? You ran your mouth about Becky, and Becky said, you need to stop talking about me. And then people were reminding her of it. People in the audience, every time she ran her mouth about Becky again, they said, look, you can't do this. She clearly asked you not to talk about her anymore. Otherwise, she would have kept going.
That's why Becky has literally texted me saying she doesn't understand why you can't keep her name out of your mouth.
When? For how long ago?
That was like
over a year?
It was like a month ago.
See, the typical narcissist and sociopath, she always wants to get like when and where and show me the proof. Even though people were there, people were hearing what she was saying, they were seeing her say it, and she wants proof, as if not all of her business is out there on the internet for everybody to look it up.
I have not talked about Becky.
Bullshit.
I didn't know that you were alive still.
And that is funny to both of them.
I wouldn't have talked about Becky.
Even when she wasn't live, but just filming vlogs, she was talking about Becky, sometimes indirectly. And so I think, triggered by this whole conversation between Destiny and Amber, Becky posted the following. And I feel a little bad putting it on in this video, but I don't know if everybody saw it, and so I'm gonna post it. So Becky says, oh my God, what I put her through, she's so delusional. Maybe she wants me to tell everyone what she put me through and all of my close family and friends. I'm not the only person Amber has done wrong. She's pushing me, you guys, and I'm not in the mental headspace to deal with her. Like, I don't even want to waste a second of my time on her because she's not worth it, but she gave me and quite a few other people in my life trauma. I don't talk to Destiny much, but she offered to do a live. I would strongly recommend against that. Amber talking about what I supposedly did to her, maybe we should compare. Maybe I should come out with everything. Or maybe I should let nature take its course for a person like Amber. Whatever shall I do? Alright, I could go on for 5 hours without any problems responding to this. So, Becky, I'm gonna address you now. What Amber does is completely wrong. She shouldn't have mentioned you again, and she shouldn't have tried to drag you into what she's doing right now. She's just desperate because her views are going down. And nothing works, and the weight loss surgery arc has to end, and so she's desperate, and so she had to say something that would get people talking again, and unfortunately this time you were the victim. I am really sorry about that, and overall I would like to repeat, I cannot believe what Amber has put you through during the relationship. None of us were there except for you and Amber, but what we saw documented in Amber's videos was horrible. I felt for you every time. Amber attacked you and snapped at you and took jabs at you. It was horrible. And but that's in the past, and the past cannot be changed. And so it is up to you now what you want to do. Don't let Amber's statement that you have put her through anything, don't let that be your motivator, because that cannot end well. If you have a need to set the record straight, if you actually feel that Amber, and we all know it out here, she cannot tell the truth to save her soul, so she cannot hurt your reputation. She cannot do that. Because we saw what she did, and even what we didn't see, it most likely was worse because she cut it out or she didn't blog it when she was really going after you. And so don't let that be the motivator. Only if you feel the need to set the record straight, or if you feel that it would help you to talk about these things and get positive feedback from us, which you're going to get, and I can assure you this, in case that is one of your fears. If you, and I wrote this in the comment under your community post, if you decided to, let's say, not sit in front of the camera and talk about what irked you the most or what hurt you the most, what still haunts you to this day, about your relationship with Amber, then I would recommend we send you questions and you answer one after another. Only, of course, the ones you are ready to answer. And that way you could just jump from question to question when you feel that you're getting too emotional, or you could also cut off the camera or whatever. That would be one option. I want to strongly advise against a live stream with Destiny, because number one, in the phone call with Amber, it didn't seem like Destiny really had any need for closure. She just wanted to nail Amber against the wall, I think. I mean, that's how she came off here and there. And plus, Destiny's memory is not very good when it comes to the relationship. You are playing in a whole different league. We saw that in the vlogs when Amber did let you speak. You are very intelligent. You have a very high emotional quotient too, EQ, and so you are a very spiritual person that is dealing with life lessons and then moving on. And that is why I understand that after not even 2 years, you're still not over what Amber has done. I mean, that is just understandable. clearing your, if you want to clear your name, keep in mind that nobody believes Amber anymore. She throws out things about other people, throws them under the bus, and we all know it. And so if you just want to do it because of that statement, don't do it. We saw the abuse, we saw the disappointment on your face every time she bashed you, and so there's no need for that. If you want to talk about details, if you feel like that helps you, then do it. And also, and this is an aspect that I think would help you, but it would come at a high price when it comes to your nerves, and that is actually filming a video and then putting it up and making money that way. Because I believe with your last community post, I'm concerned. I know we all have to pay our bills, but there are harder ways to make money and easier ways to make money. And you have the unfortunate past that you were in a relationship with somebody that now has over 218,000 or even 219,000 subscribers. She doesn't have that many viewers, trust me. But somebody that is very present on the internet, and so you could make a whole lot of money airing out the problems you had with her. You don't even have to do it under the umbrella of, I'm gonna get her back. You know, not the revenge kind of thing, but like, I want to tell my story. Destiny's very clumsy verbally. You know, she doesn't have the vocabulary to explain that it does help her to state her side of the story, and maybe it would help you. I don't know, but you're gonna have to decide if you have the time aside from your job to film these videos, which would get you money. And it might just, I don't know, help reboot your channel. And I can assure you, if you filmed a video about this topic, we would be in your comment section not letting anybody bash you. I'm sure I'm not speaking for just myself. I'm sure that a lot of people that support you would offer the same assistance. Because I remember, and I made a video about it too, when you had that GoFundMe, it was around breakup time, and people tried to tell you what to use the money for, which was horrible. It's like that was like a living nightmare. When Amber had made all this money off of you, shoved the camera in your face, aired out your business on her channel, pocketed the money, made you feel like a beggar because you didn't get a salary, which you should have gotten. I mean, it's pretty clear to most of us out here that when you make over 10,000 US dollars a month, which we know she made, that you don't have it in you to pay your caretaker, which you were at the time. You were abused as a caretaker. Not even $2,000. You should have had that in your bank account, at least that, in your bank account every single month at your disposal. For you, free use, you know, for you to decide what you want to use it on. And you didn't have it because she's a greedy biatch. And I'm trying not to sound too mean in this video, because I would also like to offer you, if you need help, like formulating, you know, what you are trying to say, you can always get in touch with me, either via email. You can find that in the About section of my channel, or I might put it in the description box too, so that it's easier to copy and paste. Or you can reach me on Instagram, where, and this is my next suggestion, I have sent you a whole bunch of legal information that you can use to still sue Amber Lynn Reid. Because of the money that she owes you, she made statements on her channel that you are now her employee. This was, I think, post-breakup. And you can sue her and make money that way. Now, with the ideas of making money on your YouTube channel based on what you say about Amber, or airing out dirty laundry, and possibly suing her, which she has deserved, she had that coming a long time ago. I would also like to point out that from a spiritual point of view, do doing anything that would start a money flow towards you, that can't be healthy, because that money has the energy attached to it. Amberland Reed, swamp ass, liar, entitlement, manipulator, you know, all these things that she lied about just to get views. And when you make money talking about her, I'm thinking that money cannot have good energy attached to it. This is why I would never give up my daytime job, and I recommend you don't do it either, because that money on the side, it might help, but I wouldn't make it my my full-time income or my only income. And so these are all things you need to consider, Becky. And I know it must still be painful to have, lived through that and survived it. But now here the person that actually caused you the harm, trying to turn things around like she did with Casey. She did the very exact same thing. She was the abuser and the bully. And she tried to turn it around. And then came the rebuttal video of Casey. And I'm not sure if you have it in you. None of us know, because you have to decide. You have to listen to your heart and let your heart be the guide. Do you want to stay away from Amber's negative energy, or and just move on? Or would it help you to reheat a whole bunch of the things that happened? For example, you said that you always had the fear in every one of your relationships. You always had the fear that the girl that you're with is still into guys and would leave you for one, right? And so when Amber mentioned she might not be completely gay, I mean a lesbian, I saw the pain in your face. And when later on in a video on your channel you talked about it, I could see that pain again. You had not deserved that. That was not I don't think that was a pattern. I think Amber knew that that's a weak point of view, and if she stepped into it, it would hurt a lot more than, her saying other things. And so I think she said that on purpose to hurt you. But you have deserved to be loved and respected. For example, when you had the dental surgery and you were sitting there and that girl was filming you and you hadn't eaten since the day before, and she asked you how you're doing and you answered. I'm not going to put the clip in here because I can imagine how painful it is for you to see these scenes, but I think you know what I mean or you remember what happened. When you were sitting there, she was filming you from the side and she asked how you're doing, and you said it hurts. And you said you're hungry, and she said, why don't you get yourself something to eat? I wanted to smack the makeup off her face, because that was one of the most cold-blooded things she had ever done. Additional to sitting in the car with her 600 to 700 pounds at the time, while you were laying under the car trying to get a piece of something out, one of those cones, I think. Something was stuck because the car was sitting so low because of her weight, and she wouldn't even get out of the car while you were trying to get it out. That was another time. And there are so many situations where you must have felt hurt, I can imagine. And you must have felt so alone, and nobody helped you. And nobody said, this is wrong, she's doing you wrong, get out of that relationship. But then again, this is just me assuming, because I don't know how many people contacted you behind the scenes and actually told you these things. I never did, because at the time, and a whole bunch of people knew that, I was running a reaction channel and I was talking really bad about Amber. But that is not based on the fact that I'm a bad person and I treat everybody like this, but because I had already gotten a picture of what kind of person she is, and she needs to be stopped somehow. She's not going to stop. It takes an emergency for her, either a medical emergency, which I don't think, but maybe a situation like her income drops below the point where she can still afford the apartment, and then she'll run back to all of you guys, because you're the only ones that would even deal with her now, or probably not, and try to get your support, which I can only strongly recommend. Stay away from her. You have to make your decision. Don't do it for us, do it for yourself. If you want to stay away from her energy, stay away from her energy. If you do make a video, be aware of the fact that that should not be your only income, because that cannot have good energy attached to it. And you don't have to clear your name, because we know that you were not the abuser in that relationship. Amber herself documented it, and she didn't have the common sense enough to cut out the parts where she clearly outed herself as the abuser over and over again. And yeah, I could go on for hours. I'm just gonna leave it at this. We feel for you, Becky. I'm sorry you're having to work so many hours and you're struggling with your mental health. You have to decide what you're ready to do, if you'd rather continue being silent, or if you want to get your channel going but just talking about yourself. You could do the same thing Amber is doing, not directly referring to her, but talking about past relationships just like she does. I don't know if you're ready to do that or if you're in need of doing that. And I would respect, of course, because who am I to tell you what to do with your life? I'm going to respect any decision you make. If you decide to remain silent, or if you would like to come out, if you need help with that, again, you can always contact me. I'm not even going to mention it on my channel, because other than other reaction channels, I don't depend on having to boast about the contact with anybody, you know. And so, yeah, you can always write me and ask me for advice or my opinion or whatever. And I'll always be fair to you. I won't be like I am in reactions to Amber. That's a totally different thing, because she has deserved to be called out on her bullshit. And so, yeah, but that's probably not your concern right now. Your concern is what you should do, if you should try to clear your name or not. Listen to your heart. Let your heart be your guide. And let us know if we can do anything. And if you do decide to film a video, I'm sure that I'm not speaking for myself when I say you're going to have our full support. If any of these people that try to tell you how to spend your GoFundMe money when Amber totally left you out in the rain financially, these people won't get a voice in your comment section, because we will make sure that you will be treated fairly. Wish you all the best. I hope you're healing. I hope you find a job where you don't have to work so many hours, because mental health is so important, and having enough time away from a job is so important. I mean, why are we on this planet? We're not here just to work. We're here to enjoy our lives and have experiences, and not just ones where we feel we're obligated to do things, but where we can have fun. And I know you're the kind of person that likes to have fun out in nature, enjoying nature, and so you should allot yourself that time by maybe getting another job if you can, or even moving again to another place where you can get a part-time job that pays more, or maybe you can reboot your YouTube channel. Okay, I'm going in circles. I'm sorry about that. Becky, always feel free to contact me. And to my viewers, again, I've not even mentioned that. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers. I really appreciate all of your support. I would like to make a short announcement, because that came up in the comments. No matter what I say on this channel about things that happened in Amber's vlogs, I never expect for people to agree with me, never ever. And I will not criticize or censor those statements in the comment section. You guys can state your opinions freely and also talk about your own lives. My comment section is free for all people to use, unless they are mean. That I'm gonna have to stop. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening to this, Becky, and everybody else. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you soon. I will see you in the next one. Bye.